Advertisements of the past have relied on TV commercials, billboards, and newspapers as the most effective means of distributing their content to a mass audience. However, social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter have revolutionized the online advertising scene by offering up-to-the-minute access to potential customers all over the world. With an estimated 2.77 billion social media users in 2019, online advertisers and social media platforms are no longer limited to old and local means of distribution. But, and this is a big but, online advertisements can come at the cost of algorithmic nudges, targets on impulsive human behavior, and invasions of user privacy. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are all free to use, allowing people from all over the world to get online and connect with one another. But this connectivity comes at the cost of user attention. In other words, these platforms attempt to maximize the time users spend on their site, and in turn maximize profit from online advertisements.
A simple example is YouTube. YouTube wants to maximize how much time you spend. And so what do? They autoplay the next video. And let's say that works really well. They're getting a little bit more of people's time. Well, if you're Netflix, you look at that and say, well, that's shrinking my market share, so I'm going to autoplay the next episode. But then if you're Facebook, you say, well, no, that's shrinking all of my market share, so now I have to autoplay all the videos in the newsfeed before waiting for you to click play. So the internet is not evolving at random. The reason it feels like it's sucking us in the way it is because of this race for attention.
As Harris points out, there's only so much attention up for grabs, resulting in platforms changing their features to capitalize on impulsive human behavior. Through this lens, it seems that these platforms are focusing more and more on maximizing profit rather than connecting individuals.
I don't see how we can postpone this conversation anymore. These structures are organizing how we function, and they're controlling what we can and we cannot do. And many of these ad finance platforms, they boast that they're free. In this context, it means that we are the product that's being sold. We need a digital economy where our data and our attention is not for sale to the highest bidding authoritarian or demagogue.
As Zainab mentions, users are beginning to be regarded more as data and products rather than individuals, allowing for companies to further manipulate user data to maximize profit. In addition to making their platforms more addictive, social media sites track what content users like, comment on, and interact with as a way to suggest more relevant content and personalize their online experience. But this data is also used to tailor the way users receive online advertisements by not only highlighting products they're more likely to be interested in, but also framing ads in ways users are more susceptible to. As Eli Pariser's book, The Filter Bubble, points out, recent studies have shown that the kinds of arguments you respond to are highly transferable from one domain to another, meaning users who are highly responsive to flashy, infomercial-like deals are also more likely to respond to ads of similar nature. By constantly testing different advertising techniques and gauging user engagement, social media sites begin persuasion profiling, or categorizing users based on the kinds of arguments they respond to. Knowing what arguments users are more likely to respond to helps them promote beneficial lifestyle habits like healthy food or exercise. But it also lets these platforms manipulate users on an individual basis and take advantage of their psychology by promoting advertisements they are more susceptible to. Consequently, the lack of awareness surrounding this issue leaves users more vulnerable to algorithmic nudges. In addition to the broader scale that companies can reach, social media has allowed companies to be more cost-effective in marketing. A significant way that businesses can do this is through social media influencers. Social media influencers are individuals that have a popular following online, some boasting over millions of followers. These influencers are the millennials and Generation Z's celebrities. Many successful influencers have gone on to having meetups, go on tour, and have launched their own side businesses. However, influencers are closer to ordinary people than traditional celebrities, suggesting that ordinary people might envy influencers more than celebrities. The amount of social comparison is heightened because users can relate to social media influencers more than celebrities. The danger is that the lives presented on social media are not attainable. Influencer postings are the catalogs of what many young people dream of having and the lifestyle they dream of living. These feeds are typically filled with luxury items, food, and exclusive travel trips and excursions that aren't usually open to the public or cost more than what the average person can afford. In addition to these featured items, which are usually given to the influencer at no cost through PR packages, the influencer's figures tend to fit the societal norms of what is visually attractive. What the public doesn't see is what goes on behind the scenes. Influencers' glamorous lives on social media look effortless, but their self-presentation is based on time, energy, calculation, and management. They don't see the spray tans and lash extensions, the intensive editing process that changes more than just filters, and the amount of work that put into each picture. In an interview with The Atlantic, Amanda Fillerup-Clark confessed that it took 30 tries to get one candid post of her kids. People tend to believe what they see on the internet is how their life actually is, but being an influencer is a full-time job, and it is unrealistic for users to think that their life is always pretty and perfect. The lifestyle standards that influencers set are simply not plausible, and it is hard for users to see their self-worth and beauty when they compare their life to a highly edited one. All in all, users should be aware that the online advertising sphere is evolving to capitalize on their subconscious tendencies. Moreover, they should be mindful of social media and influencer capabilities in order to act independently and resist third-party nudges. These issues have resulted in recent attempts toward more transparent platforms in an effort to educate users and provide a more beneficial online atmosphere.